What's up, everybody? This is SaneZ3 here to give you guys my third video that I'm recording today, and I think I might do more later, so stay tuned for that. Okay, I am going to be talking about why I love the Three Kings arc and why the Three Kings arc is my favorite arc in YuYu Hakusho, and YuYu Hakusho is my second favorite manga slash anime of all time. Okay, so now, if you guys have been in the community for a while, you guys know that the Three Kings arc sort of gets a bad rap in the anime community. People don't really like it. A couple of friends of mine who I'm friends with in community particularly don't like it. They hate it. Such as my boy Smoke Raider. Check him out if you haven't seen him. Such as Retro Shinigami. Check him out. Check his channel if you haven't subscribed to him either. Quick two shots right there. But for me personally, the Three Kings arc is my favorite arc. Okay, and how should I start this? Okay, I mean, I guess I can start it like this, right? One of my favorite parts about the Three Kings arc are the different backstories we get for some of the characters, and particularly five characters. Particularly five characters. First is Hiei. Second is Kurama. Third is Ryzen. Fourth is Makuro, and fifth is Yomi. Okay. Now the Three Kings arc, I believe, starts on episode 94. I want to say 96. I might be wrong. 95, 96, somewhere in there. Up until the end of the series, which is 112. Right. So that's what 16, 17, 18, somewhere along that line, number of episodes. And if you guys have seen the series Gungrave, you guys know that the majority of the show is just the flashback between Brandon Heat and the antagonist of the series, Harry. I forget his last name. Harry McDowell. There we go. I just remembered that at the last minute. Okay, so yeah, it's between those two people, and the show is actually a majority of the flashback between those two characters, like what their past was like and stuff. That's sort of the same case over here with the Three Kings arc. I just love the different backstories of these five characters, especially Hiei, just to see what he went through, his whole ice apparition family, how they shunned him, how he just kept killing, just sort of the balls to the wall stuff that he went through. Kurama, how he changed his past with Yomi, how he became a demon, how he was one of the greatest demons ever, and he eventually became a human and came to sort of become humanized because of it. That was really cool to see. Ryzen was sort of the same way with like Kurama in the sense that he fell in love with another human, and in this case, a lover that he eventually fucked. Just to see how much he changed and why he decided to stop eating humans. That was pretty cool to see. Also, Makuro, if you think Makuro's past in the anime is bad, just wait till you get to the manga. In the manga, she gets raped repeatedly, and she uses acid on herself to disfigure herself so that she finds herself not as attractive, and just all and it was sort of like Hiei because she also went through a very violent, traumatic past as well. So I mean, that was pretty balls to the wall. And then Yomi, his betrayal, his hot-headedness, and his past with Yoko Kurama. So those five pasts, just seeing those five pasts, I mean, they were really great. They were really, really good to me. Okay, and one of the criticisms of this arc is that people were pretty bummed out that this wasn't a war. Okay, but there are things to consider. Okay, like Kurama said when he was assessing the Three Kingdoms, if they were to go to war between Ryzen, Yomi, and Makuro. He said that since Ryzen is hungry, that Yomi and Makuro are comparable in power to him now, right? Just because he was weakened, okay? So if those three eventually fought, then it stands to reason that two of them would fight, and the one who was tired would be taken out by the third king, and then that third king would eventually be the victor, right? But if those three fought each other all at the same time, then it stands to reason that all three would have been knocked out. Thus, the remaining kingdoms would have been decided by the second hand man, as said by Kurama. And if you guys don't remember, Kirin, who was Makuro's right hand man, was actually the strongest out of the three. I mean, at the time, the three right-hand mans were Hokushin for Ryzen, Kirin for Makuro, and Shachi for Yomi. And Kirin was the strongest, Hokushin was the weakest, and that puts Shachi in the middle. So Makuro's territory, going based off of that, would have won, right? Uh, and even if yeah, so yeah, that's the thing. See, Makuro would have won just based on that alone, right? Uh, and then you got other factors to consider also because uh, you also had Ryzen's friends coming in later. You had the fact that Yomi had Shura also. You see what I'm saying? Just taking those things into consideration, uh, there probably wouldn't have been any way for Yomi to win, right? I mean, sure, Yomi had the Dark Tournament contestants in Kurama, but just for it to be a war, it probably would have actually gone to Ryzen's territory, should I say, just because of the fact that Ryzen had those many friends with an incredible amount of energy that was shown in the anime. Remember, they all powered up, and you just saw that red energy going straight into the sky, and like the horizon was just burning with the the red demon energy, should I say? That was really cool to see. Okay. And also another thing to consider was that while Ryzen was dying, that made Yusuke the heir, and Yusuke was nowhere near strong enough to protect the kingdom. He was nowhere near either Makuro's or Yomi's level. Probably not even Shura's when you think about it. Okay. Now, of course, when we get to the tournament, we find out that Makuro was actually, as it said in the last episode, Makuro was only fighting around with half her power. Now, again, this might be biased on Kirin's part because it is Kirin saying it, but Makuro's rage, when she's angry, she can get really, really, really strong. So like, there's too many factors. Like, there's just, I mean, there's just too many factors to quite make it a quote unquote a fair war. Okay, because like I said, Yusuke is too weak. Ryzen is dying. Makuro has the strongest right-hand man. Then you had to include the fact that Enki's friends and Yomi's son were not included until later when the tournament was announced. Okay, and then see, people have been dreaming that it would have been nice for Yusuke, Kurama, and Hiei to fight to the death with each other. To fight to the death with each other. Sorry, I can't really enunciate for some reason, but they wouldn't have fought to the death anyway if the war happened. And how do we know this? Is because if we go to the scene where Yusuke goes to Gendera with Okushin, goes and meets Yomi, has a talk with them, it's the scene where he pretty much proposes a tournament, right? Makuro, or not Makuro, Kurama, and the dark tournament contestants, Chu, Jin, Toya, Shishi Wakamaru, Rin, and Suzaku. Those six and Kurama are behind the wall, and they're talking about whose side would they fight for? Whose side would they fight for? Whose side would they fight for if Yusuke and Yomi eventually started to fight? And the answer was, well, Yusuke. It was Yusuke. Now, of course, with Hiei, Hiei would. I mean, he wouldn't let anyone boss him around either. So there really wouldn't have been any fight to the death between those three, even if there was a war. You see what I'm saying? And like I said, the chance of them fighting was already guaranteed with the tournament, right? So yeah, I mean, the whole war argument is just, personally, I don't get it. Okay. Another thing I like about the Three Kings arc, I mean, that's just so I'm getting away from the war, the hypothetical war. Now I'm just getting to the thing with some of the characters that were reintroduced. Okay, like the Dark Tournament characters. Okay, it took the most relevant characters from the Dark Tournament and put them in. Well, not the most relevant, but I can't say not even the best characters, but it took them. Well, it had the two best besides Team Yusuke and Team Toguro in Chu and Jin. But so it took those two and put them in, like, pretty damn good fights. You know what I mean? Even though they ended up losing, but the fights themselves, I can understand they were kind of short, but I still thought it was good because we got to see some old faces. That's nice to see. They were training, they got stronger, so that was also kind of cool to see. And the Dark Tournament, in comparison to I'm sorry, the Demon World Tournament, should I say, in comparison to the Dark Tournament, really didn't have any useless slash boring fights. I mean, like I said, Dark Tournament, the Team Rokuyakai fight. I mean, besides the Chu fight, all of them pretty much sucked. I mean, yeah, he is Dragon of the Darkness Flame was cool, but it was just too much. There was really no substance to it. It was just for show, pretty much. Team Ichigaki, I mean, didn't really care for that fight. To me, that was the word. That was the most boring fight in the entire tournament. Team Masho was a little better than both of them, but uh, the Jin and Toya fights were the Jin fight was the best one in my opinion. The Toya fight could have been a little better, especially with all like the different like fog and the ice and stuff. Didn't really pick my interest. The sweaty guy, that was BS in my opinion. The team leader, Team Risho, I think his name is. His fight could have been much better in my opinion. And then you get to Team Yuri Otogi. Shishi Wakamaru and Suzaku's fights were really not that good in my opinion. The Kuro Momotaro fight with Hiei, that was probably the best fight for that team. Gama was cool because it introduced. Well, no, yeah. Gama was. I'll say that was good, not great, but it was good. And Yuro Urishima, the guy with the fishing rod, the one who fought Kurama. I think that was the first time we actually saw Yoko Kurama in the entire series, so it was good for that. But like he is in Dragon of the Darkness Flame, it was pretty much just for show. And so, like when you think about it, like the fights in the Dark Tournament weren't really that good outside some of them. So with the Demon World Tournament, I mean there were just better fights. Hiei versus Makuro. Yusuke versus Yomi, which was great. Yomi versus Shura. Oh my god, that was such a great fight. Makuro versus Natsumi. Toya versus Natsumi's brother. I forget his name at the moment. Um, yeah, just so many great fights. Jin versus Soketsu. Almost all the fights were pretty good in my opinion. Okay. Uh, do I have anything else? Oh yeah, and like I said, the fights, like in my opinion, probably the best action in the entire series is within the Dark Tournament. I mean, especially with Yusuke versus Hokushin, and well, not especially Yusuke versus Hokushin, but Yomi versus Shura. Man, I'm telling you, the top two fights in this entire arc were, of course, Yusuke versus Yomi was the best one in my opinion, but then Yomi versus Shura was really, really, really good. Okay. And like I said, all of the fights were beast, unlike those in the Dark Tournament and Chapter Black. Okay. And then just the characterization with the three main like the three from the main cast and the three kings. Oh man, like I said, just the backstories and how they changed, and especially like when Yusuke announced the tournament. I mean, one, it was because of this that Hiei was pretty much able to let go of his bloody past. Same thing with Makuro when she had her chains ripped off or broken off, should I rather say. Makuro's chains were broken off. But that wasn't in the manga. So take it as you will. Yomi, how he decided to do away with his kingdom, and become more of an individual and become more of a father because of his fight with Shura. That was pretty cool to see. Ryzen, how he came to love another human being, even though he himself was a demon. That was great. Yusuke, how he accepts his demon side. That's just, oh man, his relationship with Ryzen is just absolutely great. I already talked about Hiei in his past, and Kurama, his decision to do away with his demon self and actually become a human, the weaker one. That takes balls. So yeah, three Kings arc for the win. Love this arc. Uh, agree with it, or just tell me what you guys think. Leave your comments in the comment box below. And yeah, Three Kings arc, my favorite arc in my second favorite anime slash manga of all time. I'm telling you guys. I mean, Three Kings arc, man. Don't sleep on it. Don't sleep on it. But yeah, that's it for me. From you, that's it for me. For you guys, I don't know for whatever reason couldn't really talk, but yeah, we'll see you guys later. Peace.